Hey man, how are you doing?
Hey, doing well, man. Thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
Nice meeting you here.
Likewise.
By the way, Kartik is a legend, and it's a funny story how I met him. In Telegram search bar, I was searching for carv, and I found a message from Kartik. Turned out we're in the same crypto club. Kartik helps to organize a call with carv, and now we together in Singapore in token 2049. Wow.
Yeah, I totally forgot that's how we met. Yeah, thanks for bringing it up.
Kartik, he's a head of ecosystem Aethir, responsible for all Web3 business side of things.
Yeah, so anything, I handle ecosystem at Aethir, so anything to do with partnerships, incubation, ecosystem fund, or special projects like Node Sale. So that basically comes under our team.
Looks you know everything backwards and forwards on Aethir, and let's set the wheel in motion.
Let's do that.
Aethir actually did the biggest node sale in the history and successful sold nodes for $150 million. All-time high at the time was $4 billion. That's it.
Yeah, FDV, when we launched the token, we hit like 4 bill FDV plus. So that was like the peak. Obviously, the markets are down now, but we are progressing towards it again.
They were also accelerated by NVIDIA Inception program.
Right, we were NVIDIA Inception program members, yeah.
So, super excited to talk about some cool stuff. So let's jump right into it.
Let's do it.
For those who may not be familiar, can you briefly explain what Aethir does?
Yeah.
Like on the fingers.
At its core, Aethir is a decentralized cloud compute infra. We are strictly enterprise grade. We work only with enterprise grade infrastructure. The basic idea is, in terms of use cases, we are looking after gaming, AI, or anything virtualized compute, right? So we run a marketplace sort of a model. There's a supply side to it, there's a demand side to it, and we help connect the two. What we do in the background is a lot of work on the cloud compute solutions, cloud products, and that's what we do at a fundamental. So it's a boring business. We tried to make it interesting in Web3, but we are a backend infra provider, to simply put it that way.
Wow, got it. What was a turning point in the journey of your projects where everything clicked and you realized that this was going to be a success?
That's a very interesting question. So to give you some context, the team has been like building heads down for over last 3 years. And it takes a lot of time to build those cloud products, right? It looks easy. There are only a handful of companies, not only in Web3, like even in Web2, right? Who can do successfully what we do at the scale that we do it, right? So these are very complicated products. The team was working on it for over last 3 years, putting everything in place. Earlier this year, we started our node sale. That was like a turning point. Turning point in the sense that's where public became really aware of us, and they felt, oh wow, it's an overnight success story, but that's not how it is, right? There was so much sweat and blood that went into it for over last 3 years.
That's impressive. I need to dive into this case. Please tell us.
I actually joined the company only earlier this year, right before the node sale. Feels like it's been like eternity. But then, yeah, the simple concept is we were thinking, hey, what we do is we deal with enterprise grade compute. So this network is still restricted even if we distribute it as much as possible, just because there's a high barrier of entry. We were thinking, since we are leveraging blockchain as a settlement layer, what is something we can decentralize and basically combine the ethos of blockchain with it, right? That's where the team came up with the concept of checker nodes. So think of these as verifier nodes on our network. What these nodes do is, the GPU compute that comes on the network, these nodes validate that. So in terms of crypto, think of this as validator on our network. Simply speaking, it's a server management software that we have. We issued 100,000 licenses, did a sale around it, and then the rest is history, right? We raised 150 million plus. In terms of the function, these nodes basically ping hundreds of GPUs every minute. They track proof of location, proof of bandwidth, uptime, latency, all that. This is the function of the nodes. We tried to decentralize it. And yeah, it was pretty exciting times.
Did you expect this to happen? And how did you achieve those numbers?
When we started out, right, I think nobody could have planned for this. It's obviously we did a lot of planning, a lot of like sleepless nights and everything, but we were still not planning for it, right? We just wanted a successful node sale, and success means different things for different people. For us, we had 100,000 licenses. The focus was on decentralization. So we thought, what's a decent number? What's a decent number of nodes we want to be out in the market from a decentralization perspective? We ran some numbers. We were like, okay, a lot of our investors were already keen on this idea. We thought, if everyone comes on board and then retail, we should be able to hit like 30-40 million, and that's a good decent number from a decentralization perspective, from a network perspective. So this is how we started. And then me and my our co-founder and CEO Dan, we were basically working on it together, and stuff happened. There was, once we announced the note sale, like there was so much inbound interest. We could see, okay, the sale is not even live yet, but we have received interest of 10 million, 20 million, 30 million. We just started manifesting it. Hey, what if we do 100 million or something? Is that possible or no, right? And we started thinking on that tangent. Then 3 weeks later, the note sale went live, and boom, we hit like 25 million only in whitelist sale itself. 2 days later, it went live to public. Within the first half an hour, the number was already 60 million. A good thing to note here is, a lot of these private investors that came in whitelist, right? So we have the Dune tracker live. Everyone can see the data there. 1/3 of our funds came from that, the revenue. But the rest 2/3 came from the community. So community was so super excited with the vision that we were carrying, with the way we structured the note sale. Plus, even that had a tier system, right? So the same deals that a top VC investor was getting, the same deal the community member were getting. They all had an equal opportunity to participate in the cheapest valuation. So I think that really resonated well with the community, and then rest is history.
That's cool, man. And I know you started with bringing funds on board. And I know to use the chance and get some insight for those who have built their products right now and planning to launch a token. It's really an inspiration case for many builders.
So the way we think about funds is, see, before the note sale, we had raised funds previously. The last fundraise happened 1 year before the note sale. By that time, over 2-3 rounds, we had raised only a sum of 9 million. Because for us, fundraising was from the perspective of how much money do we need to run the company, right? You don't need to raise like hundreds of millions of dollars to do that. And we didn't want to dilute much equity or tokens. So that's why we raised very less amount. Now, 1 year later, when we came up with this concept of note sale, we were just checking with our investors, hey, is this something that makes sense? Is this something that you would be willing to put money in, right? At that time, note sale itself was a new concept. So we had to educate everyone. What are we like? Are we crazy to do this? What are we even trying to do? We had to get feedback on that, but also educate everyone on what we want to achieve, right? Some investors started like deep diving into it. They were like, yeah, you know, this could be really huge. From a portfolio management perspective, we want to put some money in the note sale as well. Our previous round cap table investors start joining the forces. Most of our previous round investors invested in the note sale as well. Although they are mostly looking for tokens, right? Once we receive this sort of feedback, obviously our confidence grew as well. That's when we started, like we went back to the drawing board. We strategized a whole GTM strategy, worked on it for 2 months. Then we were like, okay, our round investors are on board. Who could be next? The next is something like, where do our users come from, right? It comes from gaming and AI and deep end. So we went after some gaming communities, NFT communities, top NFT communities like your CryptoPunks, Kongs, Neo Tokyo. They are our node investors. Some gaming companies, Animoca is a huge investor for us. Merit Circle, the one behind the chain Beam, they bought 10 million worth of notes from us, being the single largest note buyer. So once we started getting like this sort of interest, that's when we thought, okay, how do we take it to the next level, right? Then we tapped onto some KOLs. So we had certain presence in certain geographies, but let's say you want to penetrate different markets, right? You get a local KOL on board who might not be really that famous, but he understands his market, right? Someone from Turkey, China, Russia, and so on, right? These KOLs helped us a lot to spread the word within their community. They would call us for interviews, for spaces to help educate the community, right? This process went on for a month, and we were just like doing all these interviews, spaces, educating the community. Then we got 10 launchpads on board. Launchpads are like a distribution channel for us, right? So we ourselves were on Arbitrum. My key question is, hey, I don't want it to be limited to Arbitrum. How do I tap onto Solana community, Cosmos community, right? So we worked with launchpads on every different chain. What these do is they bring in the different chains with them. They bring in different geographies with them as well. There was a lot of GTM planning. We devised a lot of distribution channels or KOLs, launchpads, our investors. And then once they all understand the key players in crypto, then they start acting as your advocates, right? Then they were just like publicizing us, tweeting on our behalf because they saw the vision. Now it's their job to get their community excited about it, right? Obviously, wherever you need us, we'll be there to help. But this is how the whole thing went down. And we are really happy with the results that we achieved.
That makes sense. I will side with you because community in the crypto is like the main things,
Community is everything.
everything.
Yeah. One thing I learned from this entire process, always think about how my community will make money out of it. Never fuck your community. That's like key thing in
That's
crypto.
precisely the point.
Exactly. The idea is you're not sitting here to help VCs make the money. You're here as a project, you want to achieve something. The way I think about this is in if you're running a company in Web3, you're not running one company, you're running two companies. One is the product, the actual product. The other is the token. And token is basically community. You'll have all the utilities attached to it, everything. But if the community doesn't support it, you are nothing. So think of it from the lens, for a VC investor, founders are everything. If you don't find good founders, as a fund, you are nothing. So as a crypto project, if you don't have a strong community backing you, you are nothing.
I totally side with you. Is bringing in funds a game changer for a project, or is it just about raising money?
There is no right answer to this. The simple idea is, when as a project you are raising funds, what's your priority, right? So there are financial investors, there are strategic investors. In crypto, what happens is you are looking for a lot of marketing out of investing, right? So is the goal to do fundraise? Is the goal to get marketing out of it? Is the goal to get some expert in the field as an advisor on it? So totally depends on the goal of the project. So we have this classification, tier 1, 2, 3, whatever. But a tier 2 investor could be tier 1 for your project, right? Maybe as a fund, they are not classified as tier 1, but they come with the expertise that you want in your particular project. So yeah, it's very subjective. Totally depends on what your needs as a project are.
Are there risks from bringing investments?
When you're working in Web3, the whole concept is community and decentralization, right? So you don't want to bring in investors who will then hold a huge stake and start controlling it, right? Then it's not decentralized enough decentralization itself is a spectrum. It happens on multiple levels. But the basic thing is, you don't want to give too much to one investor and then they start controlling it, right? So many big projects came without any VC funding. There is even that sentiment, this is a VC-backed project and this is a community-backed project, right? So you have to create a balance. If you create a balance, then like you can weed out the negatives. I feel like everyone has a role to play, right? VCs have their own role to play. If they bring in financing, you cannot just discard that. That's an important thing, right? You need money to build a project. Community has a role to play, right? As founders, you have a role to play. So everyone comes with their role. As far as you align that, it's Gucci. Once there is misalignment in terms of like roles and responsibilities, then that's when like shit starts happening.
How did you attract investors? Santur Capital, Hashk Capital, Animoca brands, etc. And what do they currently do for a project other than staking?
There are two cases when we attracted investors. One is when we did the token round, and the other one is when we did the node sale. We were building an infra for compute, decentralized compute. It's a deepened project at the intersection of gaming and AI, because those are the use cases for us, right? It was a simple pitch. Simple pitch in the sense, it was a very transparent and easy pitch. Getting funding itself was not that easy because we were raising like in the token round at the peak of the bear market. But I think the people who understand the vision of the infra that we are trying to build, so we are not another crypto project. We are an actual business. We have 36 mil ARR coming from Web2 side of things, right? We have an actual cloud compute product and it's very difficult to build that. Even if you look at our cap table, like most of these are like strategic investors like Merit Circle, Animoca, they both are huge in gaming, right? That's where they understand the vision that we have. In Web3, we are literally creating a new category with cloud compute. I think don't go after every investor. Just see what your project is doing and which investors bring the expertise in that, and pitch to them. It will be an easy sell because they will get what you are trying to build.
So choose your investors
Wisely.
A few questions about community engagements in the media, because community is everything.
True.
So you said you had your call influencers. Tell me something unexpected, what happened and what worked best.
KOLs, think of it as one part of the whole marketing strategy, right? The way we thought about marketing was that we didn't really want to do any marketing. If you tell the story right, if you explain the narrative well to the community, what you're trying to do, half of the job is done there, right? Now it's just more about spreading that in the public. So for us, we had a bunch of KOLs on board since like the early days. And these are not your shillers. These are like When I say KOL, I'm not talking about influencers. I'm talking about key opinion leaders. So they helped us build like some content, obviously pushing in their community. And then wherever required, like they would call on us like to explain to their community. Once the key people in the space start talking about you, everyone just follows, right? Because you need to go after the key people who are trusted by the rest of the people, right? If they like you only, then they will push you, otherwise they won't. So this was our strategy. We were not really looking for shillers or influencers or even KOLs in the first place. Obviously, there was a huge marketing plan that we put in place. We worked with a few agencies. We got a lot of earned media as well. We don't do paid PR. So KOL was a part of that strategy to work with key people who can spread messaging to the public.
Another interesting question. Do you analyze which channels works better for you? For example, Twitter, Telegram, YouTube, or another?
We have a YouTube channel. We have not been so big on it. That's on us. We have to develop it more. Twitter helped us a lot. We have even like 2-3 channels on Telegram because like they just keep on getting full. And we have a huge Discord community as well. So just to give you some reference, like I think on Twitter, we are close to 1 million followers now. A lot of the initial engagement came through Twitter. Then we had Discord since like way back, and we had that OGs, right? People who really believe in you early on and they become your backbone. So we have loyal community followers even before the note sale from that thing, right? So I think again, coming back to Twitter, Telegram, Discord, all the channels has a role to play. You have to tap onto every channel where you can find the end user, right? With Telegram now you have this gaming rush. So for us, like gaming is a huge market. So I want to spread on Telegram as well, right? Yeah, so Twitter, Telegram, Discord, all were really helpful in community building.
Discord is more for growing in your community, yes?
Right. So at that time, we had like community roles and everything just to like have a closer relationship with the community. After we did the node sale, we established this exclusive checker node channel, which is a gated channel, and people there like keep on earning rewards like every now and then. There are so many projects which are launching which reward our community. People who are in our Discord, they get the first preference. They're earning whitelist for IDOs, they're earning whitelist for node sales. They're getting token airdrops for free. So this is where, I mean, Twitter is like a broader announcement thing, but Discord is where you establish one-on-one relationship with your community.
Is Discord better for relationship with community and Twitter for announce?
Twitter could help you with branding, what you want to communicate as a brand, as a company. Discord is where you go on the ground field and work with the community together, get feedback from them, and keep on like assessing the sentiment, what they want from you in terms of the project direction and everything. And you connect with them one-on-one and then like incorporate that into your roadmap.
How you describe Telegram and YouTube impact?
We have this announcement channel on Telegram for the normal community, but we also have a core group on Telegram, which is for node holders. So a lot of the people who adopted us early on, we have like a lot of people who work closely with us. They're not part of the team itself. They're not our employees, but these are hundreds of people who are basically helping us in achieving the vision that we want to do, right? YouTube is something we are lacking on. I'll probably tap onto you to help us with YouTube. We are trying to grow our YouTube channel as well, but something that we haven't paid much attention to yet.
About Telegram. Telegram sounds like something between Twitter and the Discord.
Yeah.
Telegram include like public and chats for community. What do you think YouTube? It's like best platform for like clear up more about your project, for describing more?
Yeah, I actually want to do exciting stuff with our YouTube channel and we'll start implementing it pretty soon. The idea is it's not only about Aethir, right? We are nothing without our ecosystem. I don't want to use YouTube only for telling what Aethir is, but I also want to use it as a platform for our ecosystem projects so that now they can use our audience, tap onto our audience by using our platform. They can explain about like, oh, if it's a gaming project, what do we do, why you should like follow us, or like why you should believe in us. So YouTube could be that platform where it's not only about Aethir, but the entire ecosystem that we are trying to build.
We have few cases with YouTube channel that works better than Twitter or Telegram or another, especially if you have hardly to understand or some difficult project. Because Twitter and Telegram, it looks not enough to explain every benefits of project.
As I said, every platform also has a role to play. You have to use it in the right way.
If you're, for example, product and a company project and you have a limited budget, what do you do? What do you choose, like your in your marketing strategy?
See, at the end of the day, when you're trying to build a company, you have to explain to the public the product, right? So I really like this idea of building in public. What you do is you play with a limited budget, you involve the community members in, and you give them upside in your project, like future upside, right? There's so much talent out there. Once, if you're able to get it out in the public, what you want to do, you'll get hundreds of people who would want to help you with that. You don't really need to spend a lot on like marketing agencies or whatever. Just build product, involve the community, and maybe give them like some future allocation in your project, and now their upside is uncapped. So they help you with building and they also enjoy the returns out of it. It's very important to align incentives, and then budget would not be an issue.
Back to Aethir. What's your main goal right now?
We have done pretty well over the last few months. We did the note sale. It was, as you said, the biggest note sale in history. After that, we launched our token. We were trading at 4 billion plus. Everything is going well. The market is receiving it really well. Next thing for us is like now moving into the growth phase, right? Any company, the idea is to obviously always think about what's next, how to grow next. So as I said, as a business, we do compute. We have the supplier side of things which provide compute to us. We don't own any infra. We work very closely with the community, right? One feedback we received was, hey, you have an actual business that's good. It's enterprise grade, that's good, but it's very high barrier of entry. How do we enter and play in your ecosystem? So what we are trying to do now is onboard more compute suppliers to our network. We just announced it last week. This is one of the key focus for us. Anyone who has enterprise grade GPU compute, right? Your H100s, A100, 4090s, and these sit in like T3, T4 data centers, mining farms, telcos. So anyone who has that, they can come and participate in our network. For that, they will earn rewards. Like it's a 3-layered approach. Even just for putting info on our network, you get rewards. So it's like a proof of capacity. Now, once you get actual demand, when on the demand side, somebody starts using our network, you make revenue out of it, right? And in the end, once you finish the job, you get proof of work rewards as well. So one of my key focus now is to like grow the compute network. And then the other side of it is what I said, the community want to get involved is how do I get them involved? Everyone is familiar with RWA, right? We want to do RWA in GPU. So think of it as GPU tokenization. Now, what I want to do is H100s are really expensive, like 300K a pop. Even I cannot buy that, right? Like not all of the retail people, we cannot buy it. But community can come in, put in like small tickets, right? So we want to tokenize these GPUs where community members, the retail public can like own a piece of it and generate passive income out of it. Think of merging crypto degen stuff with actual real world utility, giving access to the public. So these are two major focuses right now, getting more compute providers on board and getting more RWA protocols on board who can help us with GPU tokenization.
It sounds like insight.
So the first part of it, the compute provider we announced in public. On the RWA tokenization side, we haven't announced it yet. So it's an alpha only for your channel. So everyone is hearing it for the first time. By the time this interview goes out, maybe the announcement would have happened. We are working with a couple of RWA protocols right now, always looking for more. So anyone who is listening to this interview and you're building something in RWA, feel free to reach out to us. But yeah, let's do some cool experiments together.
Thank you for sharing it with us.
100%.
Where's all GPU power located in Aethir, and who control this massive resource pool?
We have like 42,000 plus GPUs all across the globe, 3,000 plus H100s alone, and that's a huge number. We have different suppliers. It's literally like distributed all across. We have infra, India, Bangkok, Singapore, like we are covering Asia deep, Korea. Then we have it in like Europe, let's say like remote parts of Spain or Germany or wherever, right? We have huge infra in US as well. The infra is literally spread across like very well right now. And the best part is, let's say we receive demand from some place where we don't have that quality of infra. The supply chain that we have developed, we have such a strong supplier network that we are confident we can make the infra up and running within 45 days with the help of our suppliers. This is what we have been working so hard for the last 3 years to like build this.
Do you work with miners?
I wouldn't go into the exact names, but yes, we do work with a lot of miners. So anyone who is running a mining farm and has like enterprise grade infra, GPU compute specifically, they can come contribute to our network. And there are so many projects out there, let's say in deep end, otherwise where people have established these farms, right? If you feel your returns are getting lower or whatever, we have exciting stuff happening for the first few compute providers that join us in the next few months. So miners are most welcome.
What's the situation with compute providers right now?
So we have a lot of compute providers on our network right now, right? who are providing us 42,000 plus GPUs. What we have observed in the market is a lot of the compute providers, and these come from mining farms or data centers, telcos, right? A lot of them are holding H100s, for example, right? Their infra is underutilized. We were just talking to a supplier, one of the biggest telcos in the world, like their infra was utilized only by 15%. This is the type of infra that we are after. Hey, you have invested so much in this H100, you are underutilized. Why not just put it on our network, right? Just for putting it on our network, you earn rewards for free, right? This is the fun stuff that we do with tokenomics. I think what we realized in our surveys is that a lot of compute providers right now are sitting on gold mines of GPU compute, and they all are struggling with getting demand. So just use Aethir to generate more demand, right? We'll help you with generating demand. It's a win-win. You get to generate more revenue, and we are able to provide it for cheap by looping in the token economy into it.
Good, sounds good. Thank you for answering. What's your goal here for token 2049?
It's funny, I actually lived in Singapore before. I lived here for 3 years. The goal, it's pretty simple, right? Like spread awareness, get the community excited, gather feedback, do some fun stuff as well. We all are here, like we all are humans. We all want to have fun also. Get business done, have fun as well. So the entire team is working on it 24/7. For me, my personal agenda is I am not a huge fan of going to all the events. I just like to do my one-on-one meetings, wrap up the business deals, and then grow together.
Thank you, man. Nice
Thank you.
meeting you.
Likewise.
I want to remind that it was Kartik from Aethir. Thank you everyone for watching us, and tap to like. You know where to find the button.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to be here. Go like, subscribe, follow.